So I don't want to rewind things like to back when you were younger. So like, how did you first get into singing, and like, how did you kind of discover your voice that you had?
I've It's a good question. I've always just enjoyed uh, playing around and messing around. Like when I was like a tiny little kid, I'd dance and sing to whatever was on the radio, to amuse my mum and dad. Um, so I guess it's always been sort of an underlying passion for me. But there throughout my life there have been a lot of things that I've wanted to do. Like I like writing, as in stories and stuff. And it's just that when I kind of found music, when I started exploring it a bit more and like listening to stuff that I really really liked, like probably in high school, like listening to Jeff Buckley was a turning point for me. Like to hear how music can sound
Yeah.
was yeah, it changed a lot for me. And so uh I'd I'd done some productions and stuff when I was in primary school, so like 11 years old or so. And I had a really encouraging teacher named Mrs. Masterson, who kind of said, you should try it and give it a go. um and then going to high school, listening to cooler music, starting singing lessons just because the high school happened to have a singing teacher, and I just fell in love with it. The first song that I ever learnt was "Where Is Love" from Oliver,
Mm.
and I sang that for a school event for a bunch of people's parents. Absolutely terrifying,
Wow.
but it was so rewarding. Like to have that feeling wash over you for the very first time of like, I'm singing, I'm in front of people, and they're not crying and screaming. uh, it's wonderful, and to be in like I can't. I'm not even sure who played the piano for me. I'm sorry, but to be in unison with that piano and to kind of feel that rhythm, it's as though you're in the current of the universe. Like you're feeling every heartbeat of the world. It's an
Mhm.
indescribable thing. And then it's nice to have people's parents afterwards kind of be like, "Oh, that was really nice,"
Yeah.
just compliment you and about something that you're exploring is it's life affirming. And so I was pulled magnetically to this path by chance and fate, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess does musicality kind of run in the family? Was music always in the household, stuff like that, where any of your parents or
Um,
anything singing?
no, not particularly. My dad sang in a choir when he was young, but that's that's for my immediate family, the ones who live with me. That's it.
No.
So it was just whatever was on. Um, that's what I listened to when I was younger. Did Adam Rickett reach over there? He was a UK guy.
I don't think. I mean, in our circles, I don't think. I
I'm
don't
not
think.
sure.
No, no. But he had a song when I was probably like 5 years old. He had a song that I would dance around to as a little kid. Yeah.
So I guess how did you like? How did your interest grow into sort of like the classical opera type music?
Yeah, again, just by that chance and fate, right? So that first song from Oliver was like musical theatery, and it just felt nice to sing, to do all the long kind of
Yeah.
sweepy lines and going up stepwise, where it yeah, it just felt nice, and so I kept doing it. It's not really by choice. It just sort of happened, and I was maybe 14 or so, and my voice started breaking. And I kept going to my singing lessons, and my teacher, Miss Ewington, Jenny, she basically said that there are a few things that can happen, and if your voice happens to break pretty high and you turn into a tenor, that's kind of like a bit of gold dust.
Hmm.
And so I clasped my hands together and prayed all night. No, I kept singing through it. And it turned into well, it turned into what it was then, and it keeps growing, which is my favorite thing really about singing and all this, is that there's always more to do.
Yeah.
There's there I'll never be the best in the world as well, which is really nice,
Hmm.
because I feel as though there are some people who really can say they're the best in the world at their craft, but with something like singing and how very broad it is, and music in general, it's there'll always be someone who can go a little bit higher or do some other thing. So
Mm.
I'll always have something to aspire to.